Okay, good morning, everyone. We'll call the personnel meeting to order. First order of business is accept the minutes from the January 13th meeting. Moved by Dave, seconded by Jay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. All right, we'll turn it right over to Danielle. Let's go right down the agenda, starting with backfills. Danielle.
Okay, we have first one, backfill of an aging services aide per diem. This is due to a person moving to a part-time position.
Moved by Dave, seconded by Jay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. You want to do just departments all at once?
Yeah, buildings and grounds, we have a lot of the parts, so you want me to do all of them kind of together? Okay. So we have a park, this is for the seasonal, so we have a park manager. We have 8 lifeguard laborers at Lauderdale Park. We have 2 senior lifeguards at Lauderdale, and then 7 lifeguard laborers at Hewlett, and 2 senior lifeguards at Hewlett.
Moved by Dave, seconded by Jay. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Public Works?
We have a senior account clerk. We're looking to fill it with either a senior account clerk or an account clerk, depending on the internal posting, whether they can have a transfer or not.
Okay.
So it'll either be a senior or an account clerk if there isn't a transfer opportunity.
If it's a different position, do we have to change the staffing pattern?
It would be.
Okay, but we won't know until that happens.
We wouldn't know.
Okay.
Right.
Dave moves it. Jay seconds it. Discussion from Public Works. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay.
Next is social services. We have a clerk that moved to an account clerk position, and we also have a caseworker due to a resignation.
Moved by Dave, seconded by Jay. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Sewer District.
Sewer district, we have 2 backfills to laborer positions, both due to resignation.
Okay, so we'll do these one at a time. So, Dave, you're gonna move the backfill the 2 laborers in Sewer District? Yep. Okay. Seconded by Jay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, the next one's the account clerk, which I think we discussed in Public Works, correct?
Yes.
You wanna fill everybody in on that?
Yes, it's an account clerk position that they currently have at 35 hours, and Jason was requesting that be 40 hours a week.
And I think we vetted that through in the discussion of the Public Works Committee was on board with making that change, right?
Yes.
Okay. You okay with that, Dave?
I'm okay with it.
You okay with that, Jay? All right. Any discussion on the sewer district? So this will be a staffing pattern change which will come up at the board meeting next week.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Treasurer's office.
The treasurer requested an account clerk part-time to a senior account clerk part-time. This would be a staffing pattern change as well, and I believe he brought it up.
We do this in government ops?
This is the one that was done through the budget process, but not at that final step.
Right. Right. This is just so we have the staffing pattern and the budget completely in alignment.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Okay with that, Dave?
I'm okay with it.
Jay?
Yep.
All right. Any discussion on that beyond government ops? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next one is also for the treasurer's office. It's a staffing pattern correction. We noticed that the staffing pattern had 35 hours instead of the requested 40 hours for both of the payroll clerks. So I'm asking that be amended.
This is somewhat of a
Clerical.
I was gonna say, it's sort of a clerical error where, again, we're just trying to align everything so everything lines up, right?
Right.
Okay. Moved by Dave, seconded by Jay. Any discussion? All right, we're good with that.
Okay,
The
so.
staffing pattern.
We didn't,
Now we have other business.
Okay,
So the other business that I have is, on your agenda, it says exempt tracking. So this has to do with, our staffing pattern listed our salary employees as exempt, and they tied an hour to that. So it would say exempt 40 or exempt 35. We're asking that we do away with the actual hours, since they are salary positions and we don't tie hours to salary, rather to days. We wanted that changed. Also, on our time tracking system, we do have to keep it as an 80, just for tracking purposes through our Chronos system. But again, salary positions aren't eligible for overtime. Also, with the Fair Labor Standard Act, I looked up, it does not set minimum number of hours for salaried employees. So again, they come in, do their job, and go home, as
okay.
long as the job's done.
You're just trying to clean this up to make it clear going forward that
Right.
salary is salary and there's no hourly tie into it.
Right.
Right.
To clarify that, it doesn't set a minimum, but it doesn't set a maximum either, that's where they're exempt.
Right.
Just so that everyone
Right.
understands.
So I just want to check with Al and check with Melissa from your offices.
I actually want to thank Danielle for bringing this. It's been a bugaboo for years. There's no such thing as hours with an exempt person. And they can't take their days in pieces. So if an exempt person has a doctor's appointment at 1 o'clock, they get paid for the day and don't have to use any sick time. That's how exempt works. So the fact that we ever attached hours was unfortunate. So I'm happy to see this come before the board.
and then to add to what Al was just, talking about, the other issue we have right now is with our exempt salary employees. We have some in as 7-hour-a-day people and some in as 8-hour-a-day. And so not only do the hours not apply, we're treating everybody kind of differently. So, yeah, this will kind of.
It's not a thing.
This will, yeah, it's not a thing, and this will clean things up.
Dave?
Yeah.
So, the question was, is somewhere way back when, I heard the explanation that the 7 or 8 hours, it affected their personal time, their vacation time, is that true?
It is not.
Okay.
A day is a day is a day. They cannot take partial days.
I think, I will say, it might be that you're,
The proration of,
yeah, you might have, because in the Chronos system, it does keep track of the time accrued as hourly, not as days, so that's where that does apply.
so we should probably check that to make sure it's doing accurate.
So
It's been accurate, and there will have to be adjustments made, if this is approved, just to make them all, yeah, so they're all treated the same.
Right.
So those buckets will continue to accrue at 7 or 8. And what Danielle will have to do is make sure that every exempt person's bucket, whatever hours are in that bucket right now, should equate to days.
Yeah.
So if we've got somebody right now that has 8.25 days, we need to make them 9 days. We need to get those all, there can't be a partial day for an exempt, and she'll have some rounding to do in those buckets, but.
And behind the scenes,
Right.
they'll all be treated like the 8-hour-a-day, just
This
to
will-
accrue the hours
Right.
into Chrono.
Right.
But that's all behind the scenes.
Right.
Right.
And for the actual people affected, they have to understand that they won't see a difference in their day. Whatever they're doing now,
Yeah.
they're gonna continue to do.
Correct.
Right.
This has no effect on what they're actually working right now. This is literally on our schedule.
Any impact on retirement and tracking and
Nope,
days?
the day is the day is the day.
The day is the day,
Yep.
okay. I'd love you, love you, love you.
Exactly.
It took me 10 years, I'm starting to learn what you're talking about now.
I like it.
I mean, a good example of this is I have 6 exempt employees and 3 of them are 35 and 3 of them are 40. Why?
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so Debbie, we have a motion in a second, correct?
No, I don't believe.
Okay, well, we will though in a second. Dave and Jay, all right, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Daniel.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, Teamsters.
Okay, I just put Teamsters on there because it has to do with DPW. That's kind of confusing a little bit on what I'll be talking about, but it is, another correction to the staffing pattern. We have highway worker 2s that we would like to move to carpenter twos, there would be 6 positions. This was discussed so that we can start doing away with the secondary titles, since having 2 positions with civil service, we're not in compliance, so we're trying to clean that up a little bit where there's just 1 position for 1 person. So the as-needed carpenters, that some of the staff was doing, we want to just make them carpenters where they can do those duties along the way. Also, the staffing pattern will be changed to reflect what they're actually doing, since they are doing carpenter work a lot, that we don't have to kind of go back and forth with the as-needed positions. They can just be carpenters and do their job, and we'll be good to go with that. These are also budgeted. I did check with DPW, so.
Melissa?
I just wanted to add, currently on the exempt salary, or on the exempt staffing pattern, not the exempt world, to the staffing pattern, you're familiar with, that it's listed by departments, and it shows which positions have been budgeted, and those are the titles you're seeing on your staffing pattern. For public works, there are many secondary positions that have historically been used in that department as their duties change, summertime versus wintertime, and people change positions. That's never reflected on the staffing pattern. It's always kind of bothered me, because you all see the staffing pattern, you all think that these are the positions that are being used in each department, and really there are secondary positions that are being used in public works. There's a lot of paperwork and tracking that goes on when we keep moving people from one title to another. So this would clean that up, and it also makes the staffing pattern a little more actual for all of you, so you can actually see what positions are in each department. Public Works will still have, will be using some secondary positions, but not to the extent that they are now. Now it'll just be for vacation, fill-ins, you know, we need somebody to do this job because somebody's out sick or something like that. So, yeah, so this will make the staffing pattern a little more actual and real.
So we're just aligning the staffing pattern, the department, the payroll, the union contract, so everything's clean going forward. Okay. Al?
That's what I was gonna mention. This actually was addressed in the union contract, and again, we just didn't make the next bite at the apple was to line the staffing pattern up with the contract. So these 6 were negotiated in the contract.
Gotcha. You good with it, Dave, or Jay?
I just got a question, and so the ones that are now classified as carpenters, will they still be able to go back and do stuff on highways?
Yeah.
Yes. So you can do everything below your title, you just can't do the things above your title. Right? Is that the
Yes.
philosophy?
Okay, gotcha.
All right. You move it, Dave?
Yeah.
Seconded by Jay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any others?
I do not have any others.
Any others from anybody on the committee? So am I adjourning this meeting and turning it over to Brian?
Yes.
I'm not gonna push any buttons, Brian, I'm just leaving.
Thank you.
Did you fill her out?
Which part? This morning. No, I don't think so. Oh, no.
Okay, since we're immediately following personnel, I guess I can call finance to order. First thing is accept minutes of January 13th meeting, moved by Dave O'Brien, do I have a second? Griffin,
Second.
Carol Wilson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Okay, the first thing up is be Larry Peltrowitz. And so I need a motion to go to executive session to talk to Larry, I believe, right?
Only that was the reason of the public officer.
Well, that's what you're
How
here
about
for.
collective negotiations?
We only have you here to give your part.
Just like Roger's rules, talking to Larry is not one of those things. So we're talking about collective negotiations under the killer.
I like that. Very good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Who moved in second?
Dave and James. Okay, we're in executive